So, now, gentlemen, we are proud and glad to have the English team down to Trinidad. We are always pleased to have a good team like them in the West. In the cliff is England who taught us to play cricket. So the boys are always glad to have our teachers with us down to Trinidad. Because Trinidad.
The Trinidad Test was the most remarkable match I've ever seen, and right from the outset, England appeared to be doing their best to throw it away. Strength of character and the ability to respond under pressure are essential qualities of a successful Test cricketer, and the young captain was making mental notes.
He's bowled him leg stump.
Yeah, it's a finding out time, both for me in terms of captaining and in terms of finding out about the other players, because you often pick players, and if they're not in your county side, you know how they play because you've seen them in games, but you don't know very much about them sometimes, and you're really taking a bit of punt on their character and their bottle, that kind of thing. And it's only really when you play with them on a tour such as this that you really find out about them.
A number of Atherton's young Lions were now beginning to suggest that they possessed the fighting qualities their captain was looking for. Graham Thorpe's technique had been strongly criticised in Jamaica, and he had failed twice in Guyana, prompting calls for him to be dropped. But now his gritty, determined innings of 86 made in 4 hours gave England a valuable lead of 76. Like Mark Ramprakash, Ian Salisbury had spent much of the trip sitting on the sidelines, but Mike Atherton always believed that sometime on the tour, Salisbury would make a vital contribution. In Trinidad, he did just that through one moment of inspiration in the field.
That's brilliantly taken. Superb catch.
And then, with an outrageous stroke of luck, he took the wicket, which surely meant that England would win the match.
The full top. Oh, it's unbelievable. He's been caught off Robin Smith. Adams crashed the full toss into Smith at short leg.
It was a complete fluke. Robin Smith sustained nothing more than a nasty bruise, and England's cricketers were able to bask in glory, confident that they would keep the Test series alive. Credit for that must go to Andy Caddick.
Hi, Mum.
Injuries and then a loss of confidence had wrecked the start of his tour, but he took 6 wickets in a Test for the first time.
Oh, yes! Andrew Caddick, a brilliant return catch. And Richie Richardson is gone.
That's it. Taken by Russell behind the stumps.
Ambrose out with the West Indies 171 runs ahead, but this moment, earlier in the morning, will haunt Graham Hick for the rest of his days. Chandapol had only 5 and went on to make 50, every run making England's task more difficult.
It was very frustrating. Everybody was aware that that was a crucial opportunity missed, and it's frustrating because really, you know, as one of the finest slip fielders around, who muffed a fairly simple chance, and you know, there's not a hell of a lot you can do about it. And so, yeah, you're frustrated.
The mood within the camp had been one of quiet optimism. England needed 194 runs to win the match and stay in the series. No one was prepared for what was to follow.
Be all right today.
Padding up with an hour to go, it was obvious the West Indies were going to come steaming in for that hour, and I was just trying to tell everybody to be positive.
Thank you for making me well. No.
They had us down, but we were out, and you know, we got up and we threw a big punch.
Oh, that's very close first ball.
I think it was a pretty good delivery, actually, to get first up, obviously fairly out. That's just one of those things. I don't think I played it especially badly, just unlucky.
First runs for England. Oh, trouble here, trouble. This is absolute disaster for England.
Kirtley's a much better bowler when he's either got his back to the wall or when he senses a kind of breakthrough. He obviously sniffed an opportunity there. That gave him a lift and the other players around him. Obviously it has a psychologically downing effect on the England dressing room. But you know, you hope that players are strong enough for technique and temperament to come through that, and on that occasion we won.
Curtly Ambrose knows it's out.
with the present English players, and for quite some time, they put their front foot away down, and then they can't get it back. You know, so I would think that they'll have to look at their techniques. The coaches will have to start looking at the players and try and start teaching them line and length, and to move initiatively, particularly to the rail quicks, back.
That's gone. 6 out. An unbelievable collapse here. That's gone. Simmons takes the catch, a second slip. And that's it. Curtly Ambrose strikes again. And England are 40 for 8.
What about when the wickets were tumbling? It must have been chaos in there.
I don't know, I'm sat in the shower just hearing the roars. We went to Taunton chasing 70 and we're 15 for 7, so cricket throws up these anomalies, but usually Test cricket you find an international side is strong enough to come through these things, but we weren't last night.
That's in the air, Benjamin down there for it. The match is over, the West Indies have won. Last night, for an hour and a half, was one of the most dramatic and exciting parts of a Test match that I've ever seen.